It's Britango, and today I have my latest haul. This is for the week of the 18th, February 18th, 2025. And so I picked up this World of Warcraft. I used to play World of Warcraft. I was like an OG player. I played before Burning Crusade and all that happened, and was playing during what I think was the first big controversy, which was the mounts. You know, they lowered the mounts from 40 and 60 to 20 and 40 and changed the gold prices, and almost everybody's heads exploded. But anyway, this is a Dwarf Hunter from McFarlane. My wolf has a kind of a distorted leg back there, but it's no big deal. You can get this in a 2-pack that comes with the Dwarf Hunter and the Pandaren Monk. But I didn't want the 2-pack. They had one single dwarf there. It was the Platinum. The difference is, of course, if you look at the back, he is normally a gray beard. And then, of course, the Platinum, he's got a red beard. I don't really care too much about the color of his beard. I just didn't want to buy the 2-pack. Because, like I said, I don't really play WoW anymore. I played a bit of Dragonflight. Haven't touched it since then. And I probably won't be getting back into it anytime soon. But I have always been a big fan of dwarves. So that's why I picked this guy up. And then I got the new Captain Cold, the classic version of Captain Cold. There's a Platinum to this as well where he is blue-skinned. But I have the other Captain Cold that came with the Page Punchers, which I actually think is a better looking Captain Cold. He's much cooler looking. But the classic one is, of course, the classic Captain Cold. So, and there he is on the back. Good old Captain Cold. I don't know why his gun is pink, because, like, if you look at the picture, it's blue. But the figure, it's hot pink. Like, does anybody know why? Is his gun supposed to be hot pink? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. And then I picked up General Zod, finally. And I picked up Zod because he was $10, just over $10 on Amazon. So with free shipping and everything else, I only paid 11 something for him total. So I went ahead and grabbed him because I don't have General Zod. And, you know, now I might have to pick up the Todd McFarlane figure and make him, you know, Zod kneel before Todd. You know, that'd be whatever. But there it is, General Zod. And I finally picked up the Arkham Asylum Prestige Batman. This is probably one of the better looking of the McFarlane Batman figures right here. Getting a lot of glare today for some reason. But, and it is just same box as the other Batman, same picture. And then, of course, a Batman Prestige, Arkham Knight, because the Arkham Knight version of. And then I picked up 2 of the 3 new Todd's mods. The 3 new ones being Superman, but I don't really like Superman because I think his head is overly too small. And then this is, of course, his Killer Croc. And you can see him pretty good in there. Trying to get too much glare, but there you go. Killer Croc. And then King Shark. King Shark is pretty cool. And it's hard to see, but he does have tattoos on his arms. I think he has like an anchor on that side, and over on that side it says King, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if the camera is picking it up too well, but yes, he's got a bit of a gut on him. Pretty cool. Pink boxers and his boxing gloves. You can kind of see his tattoo better right there, but those are 2 of the 3 new Todd's mods. I also picked up a couple other things. And then I also picked up this 5-in-1 McFarlane Batman Beyond box. DC Multiverse right here. I got it for a really good price. It's been sitting at my local GameStop for a while. And I priced it last time I was in there. And they said it was $113. But if you know GameStop, you get like edge discounts. And with the discount, it was like $104. So I went ahead and grabbed it. And on the inside, you have the Batman Beyond right there with his batarangs and alternate hands. And then you have the Batwoman Beyond right there. Same batarangs and different hands. And then you have Blight and his little alternate hand and stuff. And then you have Shriek. And then the Build-A-Fig, which is the Batman Future's End. There you go. There it is. Already pre-assembled. And of course, it has Batman's face on one side and Joker's face on the other side. And that is that. And then, of course, the cards are just in the top. But that is what I picked up. But like I said, just over 100, which pretty good deal for 5 figures altogether. And the Batman Beyond stuff is pretty good. Plus, you don't have to track them down. I think you could get some of these figures really cheap now. I think Shriek and Blight you can pick up at some places for like under $20. But if you want the Futures on Batman, you got to get all 4 of them, of course. And I just thought it was a decent deal for, essentially paid about $25 for each figure to get the Build-A-Figure. Not too bad. That's, about standard price they used to be before McFarlane started marking them up. And then we got one last thing. But anyway, before I show the last thing, the back of the box, there you go. It shows the 5 figures. And then Cheshire got her Easter present early. We picked her up a Gamera. These are like those little chibi versions, where they're just like a vinyl. We do have them out of the box already. She already opened them, so I will show what they look like out of the box. But this is the Gamera. She's big into Godzilla and Kaiju stuff, so we get her that sort of stuff. Gamera, the absolute guardian of the universe. And there's a bottom of the box. In case you would see that, and then Space Godzilla. Right there, a little Space Godzuki. And there are 2 versions, version A and version B. On the top of the box. And Gamera also has a different version too. I should have showed that. I don't know if I showed it too well. But version A and version B. And then if you want to see the bottom, there's the bottom. And here they are. There is Gamera. And there is Space Godzilla. And they're actually really well looking. Or really good looking. They look pretty good. They're just little vinyl figures. They did a good job with his feet. They gave him his big, giant, weird feet. And his shell and his tail wrapped up around his little shell there. And then Space Godzilla is also really well done. You have him sitting in a weird little position. And these are both the A versions, not the alternate versions. There you go. So that's what we got Cheshire for Easter. And that's it. That is our haul for the week of February 2025, the 18th of February. That's it. Thanks for watching. So long.